3 months may seem like a short time, but this is when you can make the biggest difference to your GCSE grades. Now guys, what I want to do within this lesson is to present you your ultimate 3-month GCSE plan to get all 9s, not only in English, but across all your other GCSE subjects. Now guys, welcome back to yet another GCSE lesson. And of course, if you've been following First Rate Tutors for long enough, you will know that we've helped hundreds of students get 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s in the final GCSE language and literature paper 1 and paper 2 exams through my one-off literature masterclasses, which are going to be taking place, by the way, during February half term from the 17th to the 23rd, where I'm going to be covering literally how to get all 9s in the literature paper 1 and paper 2 exams. But of course, lots of my students have also found my guidance and feedback helpful in my weekly GCSE language paper 1 and paper 2 classes that take place every Sunday at 5 to 6 p.m. And of course, guys, those of you who watch this YouTube channel will know that this channel has made such a huge difference to lots and lots of GCSE students. Now guys, I want to offer you hope if you're stressing, if you're thinking, okay, I'm starting to wake up, I have not been doing what I need to do in school, I've got my mock results, things are not looking very good, I'm predicted 2s, 3s, or even 4s and 5s, and my mum and dad are going to be freaking out because they want me to be getting 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s. Guys, I want to show you how you can turn it all around in this final 3 months. This is your GCSE revision plan, the ultimate plan for where you should be in February, March and April, so that if you want to turn it all around, right? If you want to go up by 1 GCSE grade, 2 grades, 3 grades, this is exactly how you can turn it all around. This should be your revision plan for the next 3 months to your exams, which are going to be kicking off in May 2025 if you're currently in year 11. This is how you prepare and how you turn things around and how you make the most of this final 3-month stretch, okay? So guys, let's start off with the month that we're currently in, which is February. This is what you should focus on doing between now and the end of February to start turning everything around. And I guarantee you guys, if you start doing this and you really diligently stick to this, not only for English, but also for maths, science, your other topics, you will start seeing your grades move up, okay? So in February, this is what you should be doing, okay? At this stage, guys, hopefully, you have had your first round of mocks at least, right? Maybe you've had your second round of mocks. Lots of students got the first round of mocks in October and November, the second round in January, and then maybe there's going to be a final round in Easter, meaning at this stage you have actual results from your teachers, and therefore what you need to now do is learn from your mocks and focus on the weaknesses and the weak areas that your teachers are asking you to improve on in your individual papers, okay? Now, this is something that students leave until May, literally the night before the final GCSEs to do. And this is the worst strategy because English is not a cramming subject. What you want to actually do is reverse that process, okay? What you should now start doing at this stage in February is getting all your notes, all your quotes, all your flashcards and things. And at this stage, this is when you should actually start cramming, okay? Because by the time you get to May, it's literally like you've learnt another language. You don't even have to make any effort in actively recalling any of this information. Equally, guys, it is at this stage, especially after you've gotten your mocks feedback and you're like, okay, I have all of this, these weaknesses, for example, in English. Well, you also now need to see one way to improve on your mocks is through looking at model answers, okay? Student exemplar, students who in past years got 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s. And obviously this is also the reason why I run GCSE weekly language paper 1 and paper 2 masterclasses every Sunday. And when I run my one-off GCSE literature week next week from the 17th to the 23rd, it is literally on that basis that I write model answers for my students to use, to take away, to also read from, to then cross compare and see where do they fall short on, what language does she use in this model answer for Macbeth, Christmas Carol and Spectacles or whatever. What can I borrow from this and start incorporating into my own writing? This, by the way, is part of your cramming, okay? So also when I do my English language paper 1 and paper 2 exams, I literally write a creative story for past paper questions, okay? Because we literally focus on practicing and answering a past AQA question every single week. And my students who are part of those classes have a bank of descriptive and stories for question 5 in paper 1 that at this stage I am telling them, guys, pick the stories that you like, which I've written for you, start cramming, okay? Now, in terms of revision, what should your revision time look like at this stage? You should be spending a minimum of 2 hours a week on English and all your other subjects, and this should not be just general 2 hours revision. It should be at least 1 past paper a week. And guys, as I said, and this is why I keep on mentioning my GCSE half-term literature week and also my language paper 1 and paper 2 masterclasses, this feeds into what else you need to be doing, which is getting structured help and guidance consistently so that you can know where you're going wrong. There's lots of students who get 7s, 8s and 9s. You think they're geniuses, but actually in secret they're getting feedback. They've got tutors, they've got people who are getting them that form of feedback. This is also what you should be doing if you want to start improving and getting 6s, 7s, 8s and 9s. And of course, guys, remember, this is tied to practicing at least 1 past paper a week. At this stage, guys, in February, your essays will be absolutely crap. That is something you have to accept, okay? So remember that when you start getting all of this stuff, right? So when I share my grade 9 model answers with my students, I always tell them, okay, guys, now you know what a grade 9 response looks like. Borrow the language that you want, but now you need to start practicing. And remember, the first 5 past papers that you practice are going to be rubbish. Like, what you write is going to be rubbish, but this is part of the learning process, okay? So bear in mind, in February, at this stage, when you're doing your essay practice and so on, your essays will be a bit rubbish. But push through that, because now this is what your schedule should look like next month in March if you start this process today. In terms of March, what you need to first do is find your revision fit, okay? So when you start cramming, you're gonna start realizing, okay, maybe I prefer using the Pomodoro technique when it comes to memorizing my quotes or blurting, whatever. Find whatever revision technique fits you. Carry on cramming so that it becomes second nature. These quotes and all of this stuff that you need to remember becomes second nature. And as I said, guys, keep up some form of consistency with revision, tuition sessions, and so on. Again, guys, this is why I always have consistent Sunday GCSE language paper 1 and paper 2 masterclasses. It's based on this consistency that I am so confident that all of my students who are part of those masterclasses are on the road to getting 7s, 8s, and 9s because they're putting in that consistent practice, okay? So of course, guys, you can join and you're very welcome to join in on those classes. But if you don't, I would like to recommend considering some kind of structured support outside of school so that you maintain that consistency and also know where you're going wrong, okay? Also, in terms of your revision hours, okay, at this stage, that time that you spend revising per subject should go up to 3 hours, still past paper practice. And your essays, if you have started practicing past papers from February, at this stage, your essays are going to go from being rubbish, okay, to now improving and looking okay. This is in March. And finally, before obviously May, which is when your exams kick off, remember that the official start date of the 2025 exams is on the 5th of May, okay? So the month before in April, this is the time to go dark. This is a time where you need to stop having these social engagements. Oh, but I love hanging out with my friends on Saturday. Oh, you know, but my friends, you know, she's got this party I really need to go to on Sunday. There's a sleepover, there's this. Guys, your time is finite, okay? So it's up to you. You can have all of these friendship hangouts, and these are the same friends that you're still gonna have after your exams are over. Or you can go a bit dark and say, hey guys, I'm gonna have to focus on my work for a bit, or come up with whatever excuse you want to. And then this is the time you need to start maximizing on your revision. You need to start downloading some kind of app blocker, especially if you find that you're always on Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, whiling away the time. Or I know that there's Twitch stream and all sorts of different social media apps that steal our attention. It is time to go dark on all of these things in April, because you literally now will have 28 days before your final GCSEs. This is not the time to waste, okay? Also, at this stage, guys, if you have been cramming and memorizing quotations and stuff like that consistently since February, at this stage, it's second nature. Your cramming is done, because you look at a question and be like, oh, this is asking about Lady Macbeth. I know exactly what quotations I need. Oh, this is to do with power and conflict. Know exactly what I need. This is to do with love and relationships. I know exactly what quotations I need. And by the way, guys, in terms of cramming, right, in my February GCSE masterclass, this is why I have these cheat sheets, so that my students after each class, right? So my students, for example, who are part of my Macbeth, inspector calls and so on, they have a 3-page cheat sheet that I tell them, go off guys, cram and memorize everything there, right? And so at this stage, if they stay consistent after this half-term literature week, at this stage, all of that stuff that I've given to them, which they've not had to spend hours and hours putting together, at that stage, all the writing and all those grade 9 points when it comes to context, themes and so on are second nature to them, okay? So by this stage, their cramming is over because they've put in the time, the work and the consistent effort. And then on top of that, what you need to do is remember that in April, you're gonna have your final major holiday before the exams, which is your Easter break, right? And during your Easter break, make sure you set a really solid revision calendar where your subject revision time goes up from 3 hours, which you're investing every night after school in your revision, to double that, at least 6 hours during the Easter break. And at this stage, if you are consistently practicing past papers, your essays are going to be excellent. And by the time May rolls around, you're not even stressing, you're not panicking, you're like, I've got this, I'm actually ready to get this over and done with so that I can have my life back in June and July when my exams are over, okay? So guys, as I said, you don't have to figure this out by yourself. Just simply join in either my half-term literature week, where literally we're gonna be driving to get 7s, 8s and 9s, and go up by 3 grades, 3 GCSE grades during the half-term February break. And of course, guys, you are more than welcome to join in my Sunday GCSE language paper 1 and paper 2 classes, which are every single Sunday all the way until the final GCSE exams. Thanks so much for listening.